We're happy to have you here. Can you please introduce yourself?
Okay. Hi, my name is Amani, and I am a certified medical assistant. I will give you a little bit of background about myself. I graduated medical school in Egypt, and I was a dermatologist over there for a while. And then I had to come to the US. So I had this big dream that I will take sit for my licensing exams, the matching exams, and I will become a physician in the United States. But because of personal reasons, I wasn't able to find the time to sit and have dedicated study time. I went ahead and had received training as a preschool teacher by this amazing preschool program director, and I started my job as a preschool teacher. But I wanted to work in healthcare so badly, so I decided why not start from scratch. So I went to Everett Community College and many actually colleges in the area, in the Seattle area. And I found that the Everett Community College program works best for me. And I joined the program. So that's me.
What exactly does a medical assistant do?
A medical assistant performs a variety of tasks. There are clinical tasks and there are administrative tasks. So clinical tasks are things like measuring blood pressure, taking temperature, weighing the patient, administering medication, whether it be injections or even oral, sometimes removing stitches from a previous stitched wound. And other administrative tasks. Administrative tasks are things like scheduling patients, sometimes very light billing, sometimes sorting the mail, things like referring patients to other clinics or requesting patient records. And it depends on where you get hired. If it's a small clinic, your tasks might be a mix of both. But if it's like a huge institution or a big hospital, there's usually a person for each task. You usually mostly deal with the clinical stuff. So yeah, that's what a medical assistant does.
What does the medical assisting program look like?
The medical assistant program at the Everett Community College is 6 to 8 quarters long, and it starts out, I had to start with English and math, but it starts off with medical terminology, which sounds a little bit difficult at first because it's like a whole new language that you have to learn. And then you go to the more fun stuff, physiology, anatomy, pathology. You also learn some communication skills and critical thinking, and you learn some administrative things as well, like how to deal with emails and patient privacy, billing. And then you go into your two last quarters. The first is the practicum, which is 3 classes that you have to take all together: medication administration and phlebotomy, drawing blood, and the rest of the ambulatory skills like measuring blood pressure, taking temperature, weighing patients, getting the room ready for a patient or after the patient leaves. And then the last quarter is your externship. The externship is actually 1 month long, but you still take, you meet with the instructor once a week for to touch base with them and to let them know how your externship is going. Sometimes I feel like the instructors also learn new stuff from students like us. And then when you're done, you take it qualifies you to sit for the AAMA exam or the NHA exam, and both exams are highly sought after. I want to say that many employers look for medical assistants who took one of those 2 exams, because there are 5 exams that you can take to become a medical assistant. And then when you're done, you email your exam results to the Department of Health, and voila, you're a medical assistant.
What about the career path as an MA?
People sometimes, when they think of the healthcare field, they think a physician or a nurse, but there are many jobs out there that are medical field, but still not as intense, not as, they don't require that much education to get to. And some people, actually many people, I'm one of those people who want to take things step by step. So when you're a medical assistant, when you take that 6 to 8 quarter program, you are then a certified medical assistant, and then you have the option to pursue your education, and for example, as a registered nurse, or after 3 years of full-time work, you can actually apply at UW for the physician assistant program. You can also, it depends on how, and it usually happens with experience, and when you work and you're like, I'm interested in that job. Things like a lab tech or an X-ray technologist or a sonography technician. Things like coding. Some people really get into coding. Some people like to work at billing, and you can even be a clinic manager, and it's not really that hard. After studying a little bit of management after medical assisting, there's actually a short program in Everett Community College about like healthcare management that you can take. And these are all jobs that are still in healthcare, but some of them are not, how do I say it, like you're not in contact with patients that much, if that's not your jam. And some of them are, you're just taking medical assisting so you can have connections, or so you can have a feel of the field, like RNs, registered nurses. If you're a medical assistant, it'll give you the time to experience the healthcare thrill, I want to say. And you'll have nurse friends, and you'll see how much they work. Do I want to be like them or not? And physician assistants and so on. So I think medical assistant is a great job that's good for putting your foot at the door, and you know, looking at other options.
What do employees look for when they're hiring?
When hiring medical assistants, employers know that you've just learned the basics. So you know how everything works, but you don't yet know how everything works in that institution. So they definitely will have to train you on their own, for example, electronic health records software. Each clinic has a different one, and it requires training, believe me. And just how things go, how we communicate within the office. So when they hire you, they don't want you to be like an expert at working. Of course, there might be a higher salary if you're experienced, if you have, you know, an experience as a medical assistant, but if not, that's really not what they're looking for. They're looking for your soft skills. Are you going to be a good addition to the team, yes or no? How about your communication skills? Do you have a sense of humor? Are you thoughtful? Are you empathetic? So they'll ask you questions like, what if a patient feels, for example, their eyes hurt? So you say, okay, I will ask the patient if they would like me to dim the lights a little bit. If they say I have a headache, you can ask them, would you like me to turn the lights, dim them a little bit, or turn them off? Or would you like to lie down? Would you like me to lay the bed down? Or would you like me to make it sit up? So, you know, empathy is really a big thing in healthcare, and empathy is not the same as sympathy. So look it up, and they want to see you as a human being, working as a part of their team. That's mainly what they're looking for in the interview.
What are you doing these days?
Oh, what I do now is I'm back to being a teacher, a preschool teacher. I found out that I really like it, and I enjoy working with children, and I'm good at it. So I'm back there, and while doing my lab tech degree, I'm still taking my prerequisites, but I will be doing, inshallah, the lab tech, 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 the l associate degree, I think it is, at Shoreline Community College. I worked a little bit during my externship in the lab, and I found out that it was so comforting for me that everything was so organized and clean. And I like, cleaning, not tidying, but just like cleaning spills and things like that. And it was, for me, much less stressful than dealing with patients' illnesses and suffering, because I tend to carry home people's worries and how their sickness is affecting their life quality. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. Oh, I also have a hobby. I have a YouTube channel where I read children books in Arabic and English. So check it out. It's called Storytime with Amani. Yeah, so I'm pretty busy.
What do you want to do in the future?
What I really, really want to be is Mrs. Doubtfire.
Really?
If you have not watched Mrs. Doubtfire, the movie, you have to. You're missing out on a lot. It's a man who dresses up as an old lady and has his own children TV show. Yeah, that's what I want to be, believe it or not.